Hello and welcome back, friends. If you're new around here, I'm Big Gator. If you came looking for the sharpest tennis bets, you're right where you belong. Right now we're covering ATP Tokyo in Beijing. Made it to the second round, so get yourself involved. Let me see what you're playing in the comments. Please keep your eyes peeled for my pinned comment. Just letting you guys know it is what I'm playing officially, so what you hear in the video is just what I'm analyzing and what I'm thinking about. But the official picks will be in the pinned comment. If you do like the breakdown of these matches, please give this video a like. It goes a super long way. I appreciate everyone that does. And if you would like to also get my picks from this video as soon as I upload, just subscribe. Turn notifications on. It's the fastest way for you to do so. The community is also growing as well, so I appreciate everyone that has been subbing. We're almost at 600. Let's keep it pushing. And if you'd like to donate, there's a link in the pinned comment and also a link to my free Discord if you would just like to join the community. We have more plays there. I talk DraftKings as well. So that being said, what we looking like for today? Well, we took two tickets. We had Dartery money line, bang, right? Did a good job there. And then we had Carlos Alcaraz minus 5.5 on the game spread, bang, made Baez look crazy. And then we had another ticket. We took Ben Bonzi to win a set. Couldn't do it against Fabian Marozsan. Marozsan looked good, but honestly, the highlights that I was able to catch, I didn't get to see much of why. Maybe it was a bunch of errors from Bonzi. I gotta look at the stats, but it is what it is. We also took Scary Terry in that same slip, and if you were like me and played it singles, I got my money from Scary Terry. So thank you, Scary Terry. Thank you, Carlos Alcaraz. Thank you, Dartery. And we keep pushing on to today. And what we have coming up for today is going to be in Tokyo. And our first match is going to be Sho Shimabukuro going against Sebastian Korda. And this is going to be their first head-to-head. But what's crazy about this match is they're 200 ranks apart. But that hasn't seemed to matter for Sho, has it? Sho has gone through Mariano Navone in Q1. In Q2, he beat Juan Manuel Cerundolo, a lefty, and then got to Thomas Mahac, who he got rid of in straight sets. Then we have Sebastian Korda, who dropped the set to Marcus Giron, and it was a tough fought battle between the two of them. Sho is looking like he is able to come into the mix of what's going on here and disrupt it. I think that we can expect Sho to get us some significant damage on Sebastian Korda. I'm not going to go out and say maybe I think he could beat him. If he can beat Mahac, what's the difference? I think Thomas Mahac and Sebastian Korda have kind of been in the same boat this season so far. So even though with the record for Sho being, 17 and 15 on the hard court, and then Sebastian Korda is 12 and 9. At this point, he was 12 and 7. Yeah, he was 11 and 6 before he got here, so I think he's 12. And 7. Crazy thing is that the win rate for Korda is 61.9% and Sho is 62.1. So 0.2 better than Korda, but a lot of those numbers have been inflated due to wins on challenger level. So we can't really say that win rate is actually like a real thing. Going against top 100 players, we haven't seen him beat any until now. So he's 3-0. I don't know why it's going to stop him. He's got that home court advantage, and I think that's all he needs. Sho is Japanese, 28 years old, playing in Japan. I think this is where he's trying to get his money, and then I don't know if he's going anywhere after this. He went to the U.S. Open, tried to qualify, but then came right back to Asia. But he plays. He goes all over the place. He goes all over the place. So we'll see. We'll see. I like what I saw from Sho going against who was that? Mahac just looked bad, but I like what I saw from Sho. So maybe we can get him to cover the spread. My +2, +4.5. It's minus 225 right now. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. DraftKings is yelling my name for me to play him for sure tonight, though. So you hear it here first. I'm definitely playing Shimabukuro on DraftKings tonight. May play them both, honestly, on 2 different slips, but we'll see. Anyway, we have next Daniel Altmaier going against Alex Vukic. And holy shit, what did I tell you guys? It's like I be telling y'all. It's like I be predicting what's going to happen. Anyway, we have Vukic we have Altmaier and Vukic. They're 1-1 their head-to-head history. Vukic beat Jumhor, but Jumhor took the second set. Something I say he does all the time. Now it looks like he's back in the groove of that. I was afraid he wasn't going to be able to do it in that match, but he ended up doing it. And then we have Altmaier, who told you could surprise you, ended up surprising you, and beat Shapovalov. So, in straights. Crazy. And he looked good doing it, too. He was hitting some crazy shots. He's like a German version of Jensen Brooksby to me. You don't really know what you're going to get. It's always chippy, though. You know you're going to get some chips. Anyway, these two are literally like almost priced the exact same. Minus 115 for Vukic, minus 110 for Altmaier. Altmaier being the very slight favorite. The very, very slightest of slight favorite. As slight as you could be. So, with that being said, whenever they play each other, it does go to an extra set. Like, no one ever wins in straights. The last time they did play was in London, in Wimbledon, 2 years ago. And it went to 2... I'm sorry. Altmaier lost, but he did nab a set, so it went to 4 sets. And then Altmaier won in the Phoenix Challenger on the hard court 3 years ago, which, looking at their records on hard courts, at this point, may make a little bit more sense to go with Altmaier again. He did win in the Phoenix Challenger in 3 sets. And he also plays better on the hard courts. Even though he's only 10-4 this season, he's got almost a 60% win rate on the hard court. And then we have Vukic, who's 13-17 with a 53% win rate. He hasn't had a decent season since 2023, which is when I'm pretty sure he was able to beat Altmaier in Wimbledon. But most seasons he does not perform outstandingly on a hard court. And to be quite frank with you, neither does Altmaier. Altmaier hasn't had a positive record season on the hard court since 2021. So I would leave this match alone. If you guys have anything you want to play for it, please put it in the comments. But I'm not going to touch this. This is too volatile for me. Too much smoke. Too much smoke for me. Alright, we're going to move on though. Our next match is going to be Nuno Borges going against Taylor Harry Fritz. And oh my god, do you see what I be saying about Taylor Fritz? I know there's a lot of people that are big fans of him that subscribe to this channel. I'm a big fan of Taylor Fritz too, as a person. Like, I like this guy. If I ran into him in the street, I'd be like, oh my god, Taylor Fritz. What's up, bro? But when it comes to, like, feeling confident in him playing tennis and betting on it, I can't tell you that I feel that way. I always feel like he can lose. And when he was playing against Diallo, I was like, this motherfucker about to lose. When he dropped the first set, I was like, oh my god, bro, this is what I'm saying. But it's Diallo, and like I knew like it was only a matter of time until Diallo was going to be like, you know what, he's just too good. But he ended up getting close, and he at least got a set. So anyway, Nuno and Fritz have played once before, just last year in Delray Beach. Fritz beat him 7-6, 6-4. So just to give you context, that means that Borges covered a 3.5 spread. Nuno Borges covered a 3.5 spread on Taylor Fritz. The spread for this current game is at 4.5. If Diallo can take a set, I don't know. Watanuki wasn't even in great physical form, so I don't even know if that. And when Taylor Fritz seems to win matches like how he won that tie-break third setter against Diallo, I feel like the next match he'd be turning up. Let's see. Yeah. When he dropped a set to Jerry, remember when he dropped a set to Lloyd Harris? He was like, all right, well, that was just Lloyd Harris. And then this is in the U.S. Open. And then he was like, all right, I'm going to go through this Jeremy Kim guy. I don't know who he is. And then he lost the second set in the tiebreak and was like, you know what, fuck this. And then beat him. The next match, he went against Thomas Mahac and beat him in straight sets. So that is a thing with him. And since his Laver Cup performances, he has been looking very good. He has been hitting some shots where I'm like, that's not in the bag I've been seeing from you before. Like, that's a different shot package. You're evolving a bit, Taylor Fritz, and it's great. But anyway, looking at the record, Taylor Fritz is the American number 1, ranked at number 5, going against Nuno Borges, who's currently ranked 51, who is 14-12 on the hard court, but has a 68% win rate on the hard court, going against Taylor Fritz, who is 27-10 on the hard court this season, but has a 67% win rate. So Nuno Borges is technically a bit better. Taylor Fritz has played way more matches, though. Like twice as many matches on the hard courts. So, and then the record, right? 29-28 for Borges, 46-17 for Taylor Fritz. He's minus 650 to win. If anything, I would alt down the point total to 19.5. I think that'll happen. I think that it'll definitely go 6-4, 6-4, some shit like that. It's minus 225. It's a good price for it to just go to 20 games. So if you like that, play it. It's something I'm looking at right now. I'm thinking about it. I don't like betting on Taylor Fritz, though, so maybe not. Next, we have, or lastly, we have for the matches for tonight in the morning in Tokyo. It's going to be Casper Ruud going against Matteo Berrettini. And these guys have played quite a few times. This is going to be their 9th head-to-head. It's 5-3 going Casper Ruud's way. Casper Ruud, let's say 4-3. It was an early retirement in Rome earlier this year, and that's where we kind of stopped seeing Berrettini, right? So is Casper Ruud going to do something physically? When I did watch Berrettini in his last match, he didn't look like he was moving too well. He didn't have to do too much moving. Then maybe that was just the highlights I saw, but I can't tell you that with confidence. He looks physically able, he's not moving well, he's just hitting the ball well. That's what I can tell you. He's hitting the ball fucking well, but I don't know if he can move as well as he's hitting. Casper Ruud be moving. But anyway, 4-3 in their head-to-head history. Berrettini was the one who did take it last. And what is it? Australia United Cup match. Probably didn't really matter, but Casper Ruud has been beating him in the U.S. Open in straights on the hard court, and also mostly on the clay all before that. But the most recent head-to-head was this year, which ended in a retirement, and the one before that was in 2023. So it's been quite some time, and these guys are in quite different form. Berrettini's been in a stinker, but now it looks like he's back after beating Jean-Mi Mannarino. Casper Ruud dropped that first set, but then came back and then just turned up. So, good for him. I don't have much for this match. I don't really trust either of these people in the form that they're in. I would just like to see who comes out on top. I would like to think that Berrettini wins with what I've seen, but he not moving well enough for me to think that fully. Casper Ruud dropped a set to someone that was ranked what, 106. So I don't even want to touch it. And that concludes everything going down in Japan, and we're going to hop over to Beijing, where we have quite a few matches to go through. Quite a few. And this is going to be the first round for Beijing. So I know I said it was going to be second round when the video started, because we started with the second round in Tokyo. I'll make sure I properly label the heading of this video so you know what day is what and what's going on. But yeah. Alright. Starting with Kecmanovic and Mensik in Beijing. Got Mr. Miyamir going against Mr. Jakob. This is going to be their second head-to-head. They played last year in Vienna in the indoor hard courts, where Mensik won in straight sets. Quite impressively, as we know that he does play quite well on hard courts, and Kecmanovic does too. He's 16-12 this season on the hard court, going 25-24 across the season. Mensik is 21-10 though, with a 33-20 record. Mensik almost has a 71% win rate on the hard court. That's pretty good. Kecmanovic is a reverse of that, 57. But whenever I watch Kecmanovic play, he doesn't play terribly. He's ranked 50. Mensik is in the top 20. He's 19th now in the world. Just looking at Kecmanovic, we haven't really seen him since the first round in the U.S. Open, where he got smoked by Fonseca. Lost those 2 tie breaks, and then after that it was just done. Got beaten in Winston-Salem to Sebastian Korda, but he did beat Dartery and Kovacevic in the process. So I don't know what that means. You could beat Dartery and Kovacevic, but you couldn't beat Sebastian Korda, who can win a match or two nowadays, in my opinion. I don't know if he's snapped in full form. We'll see. But Mensik did go to the Laver Cup and play against Minaur. Didn't do much in that match, lost in straights, but he did beat Mickelson, which doesn't really say much to me either, in comparison to someone like Kecmanovic, who did play Mickelson earlier this year, if I could remember properly, and he lost, but that was on the clay. So if Mickelson can beat Kecmanovic, Mensik can beat Kecmanovic, and clay is not even his stilo. So assuming that the price is going to be out of this world, I'm probably going to be leaving this match alone, or just playing it on the... Oh, it's minus 200. It's not bad. Think about that. We'll come back to that maybe. But we'll move on, actually. The next match we have is Andrei Rublev going against Flavio Cobolli in the first round. Cobolli. They played each other earlier this year in Hamburg, remember, on the clay? He beat him in straights, 6-2, 6-4. Is Rublev going to let it happen again? What is Rublev's record against Italians, man? I feel like he loses to all of them. I feel like he can't beat Italians. Three and 3, not bad. Oh yeah, he beat Sonego, Dartery, Sonego again. Couldn't beat Arnaldi and Cobolli in center, obviously. But fair enough. looking at their record so far this season. Rublev is about 16-11 on the hard court. Cobolli's 8-11, so half the amount of wins on the hard court as Rublev does. But as we know, on a good day, Flavio Cobolli can give you a surprisingly good match. I do think that he can produce a set here. It going to 3 sets is plus money. I kind of think that this could happen. I kind of think it's going to happen, man. Cobolli seemingly had him beat in the final in Hamburg this year. Seemingly. He only let him score 6 games. So if he can get a set, how much is that worth? Minus 150 for Cobolli to get a set. Are we going to take Cobolli in the first round? Rublev lost in the second round, well, first round for him in Hangzhou, but we see him in the first round here. He very rarely loses his first round matches. Very rarely. He's done it about 5 times this season, where he was in a 3-match stinker after winning in Doha. So, kind of excused that one. Those 3 matches, he was big chillin'. Outside of those 3 matches, he only had 2 times. 3 times, I'm sorry. 2 on the hard court, where he lost in the opening round that he was there. And then we have Cobolli, who lost in the first round that he was in Cincinnati. Same in Eastbourne. Same in Munich and Rome. So 2 on the clay, 1 on the grass, and 1 on the hard. One thing about him, he's been playing a lot of matches. He got beaten by Fonseca when he was up in that Laver Cup match, and I was like, God damn it, Cobolli. I believed in him. But I think the safest thing to take for this match would probably be like Rublev over 12.5 games. I think that's probably a good place to start with. I'm sure he'll get pushed a bit. So, with that, we can move on. If you want the win rates, Rublev has a 7% win rate on the hard court over Cobolli with a 65%. So, if you're feeling like the statistics might be working more tomorrow than like the way things look, because we have yet to see either of them play in Asia so far this year and last year, we didn't see either of these guys in Tokyo, so this is going to be a first time for them. Or were they there the year before? Let's see. Not Cobolli. Not Rublev. Yeah. Okay. Not since 2021. Looks like Rublev hasn't been back in some time, so maybe he's going to be here for a minute. We'll see. Our next match is going to be David Goffin going against Arthur Rinderknech. And, this is going to be a funky one, is it not? It's going to be a funky one. This is going to be their 4th head-to-head. They just played each other in the Beijing qualies earlier this month, or earlier this week. Goffin beat him in straights. Played him in the 3rd round last year in Winston-Salem. Goffin beat him in straights. Played him in Marrakesh earlier last year as well. Goffin beat him in straights. It's been 6 straight sets from Goffin against Rinderknech. Do we see anything different happening this time around? And he's the underdog. This is what I'm saying, man. You can't make this stuff up. Goffin is the underdog. Even though he's won every time they play. Like, you just can't trust this guy right now. The books can't trust him either. They're like, we gotta make him a dog. Neither of these guys are, like, terrifically great. The record is 8 and 13 for Goffin this season. Rinderknech is 7 and 13 on the hard court this season. But Rinderknech has 30 losses this season, going 24 and 30. He's got a 58% win rate somehow on both hard court and all surfaces. Then we have Goffin, who's 12 and 20 this season, but he's got a 61% win rate on a hard court. 62 across all surfaces across his career. So he beat Yizhu in qualies in Beijing. That was impressive because Yizhu looked really good in Hangzhou, and then got rid of Rinderknech. So what happened? Got to play him again. I said earlier this week. He played him yesterday. Jeez. All right, well, they got to play each other again. So you think he learned anything from that match? You think there's going to be more games this time? Probably. I would probably take a spread for Goffin, but I'm not touching that match. You got me fucked up. Goffin is on my do not touch list. So I can't touch it. But best of luck to anyone that does. Let me know what you guys end up playing. And next is going to be Jerry Shang going against Arthur Cazaux. And this is going to be their second head-to-head. They played 2 years ago in Atlanta and qualies on the hard. And Shang won in 3. Went to a tiebreak in the second, but he ended up getting it done. He just lost to Nakashima in Chengdu, which it's pretty expected there. And then we had Cazaux going against Quentin Elise, who retired right before they can go to a third set. Very weird. Excuse me. Most likely injury related. But nonetheless, Cazaux has got a simple pass with his French ass all the way to the first round. So, what do we think? Jerry Shang, a lefty, going against Cazaux. Cazaux doesn't seem... Let's see. Has he had any matches against lefties recently? He lost against Moutet in a 3-setter in Hangzhou. Let's see. Nah. It's been a while since he's played another lefty. Played Mannarino on the grass. He lost to him as well. And then played Tableau on the clay. He has a pretty bad record this season against lefties. And Jerry Shang, I want to, like, bro, he's good, bro. Like, he's good. Like, I don't know what's going on. But he got rid of Zizou and then lost to Nakashima. I think he gets through Cazaux. Just going off the record. Against lefties. And to fully check it out, it's got a decent rank, a decent history against lefties, but Jerry Shang in peak form, or almost peak form. He's a top 50 player on a good day. On a good day, he's a top 50 player. Let's not get it twisted. So, let me just look and see what he would be doing against a top 50. He's 1-2 against top 50 lefties. He beat Ben Shelton somehow in the Paris Masters on the clay, but hard courts, no. Yeah, he beat him on the hard court. Damn, that's crazy. Forgot about that shit. Damn, that was last year. That's a different Ben Shelton, though. This Ben Shelton now, he's not beating that Ben Shelton. Ugo Umpert, he beat. Oh, no, he lost too. So, I don't know. I feel like it's like him going against Ugo, not like him going against Quarantine again. So, he hasn't been looking too great against the lefties. I can't say with full confidence that Jerry Shang will win, but he's definitely good for a set. It's minus 350. It's a parlay piece if you want to use that. But moving right along, I'm going to go into our next match, which is going to be Leonard Tien going against Francisco Cerundolo. Boy, we love Leonard Tien, but gosh, is it too much for him? Is Asia too much for him? Is this season starting to take a toll? Is the travel too much for the young lad? He had time to recuperate himself back in America. He had a whole month off, damn near, or 2.5 weeks. Played decently well until he ran into Valentin Royer. Lost in 3. But now here he comes in first round. And now he's going against Cerundolo. Cerundolo is 11-6 this season on the hard court with a 52% win rate, but he's also 34-20 across all surfaces. Leonard Tien, even though he is 19, he has a positive record on the hard court and this season as well, going 19-11 on the hard court with a 75% on the dot win rate. 26-22 with a 70% win rate across all surfaces. And then let's take a look at Mr. Cerundolo and see how he does against lefties, because that is a big thing here. He is the brother of a lefty. This is Juan Manuel's older brother. So, I would assume he's pretty good against them. Right? Yeah. So just looking at it, the only one he couldn't beat this season has been Ben Shelton. But he beat Hugo Gaston, his brother, and a retirement from Acosta. So honestly, where do we rank? Okay, let's do this. Because okay. So the lowest that he's gotten to is what, 73? He's never beaten anyone in the top 50. And Leonard Tien is damn near top 50. You know what I want to do. If Leonard Tien is the dog, this is the time to take him for smoke, bro. But play style, the scrappiness from Cerundolo is going to be there. It's going to be there. Tien's going to have to be locked in to get this shit done. Locked in. And when that's going to be the case, and we have him as a dog, if we can find a good parlay piece for his spread, but we don't have it. We can get him at plus 3.5. I don't see him losing by getting his ass whooped. He can keep games decently close. Let's see. What was the spread in his last game against Royer when he lost? He lost to Rublev by 4 games. in that revenge match. The worst I've seen him lose is 6-2, 6-2 to Davidovich Fokina. But that's not going to be what we see tomorrow. I don't think Cerundolo's that level. I would like to think that he can at least cover a 3.5 spread. It's minus 200. It's a parlay piece. I like that. Yeah, we'll keep that on the side. We'll get into the rest of the video. We have quite a few more to go through. About halfway done here. All right, next we have Alex de Minaur going against Bu Inchakete. And it is a 2-0 head-to-head win for Alex de Minaur going against Bu. But we have Bu playing in Beijing, where he has the home court advantage. And this is going to be another... Oh, the first time they're seeing each other in the first round, but when was the last time de Minaur lost in the first round? Cincinnati against Opelka. Crazy. I think that was just exhaustion, though. He was playing a lot of matches. He won in D.C. That was a crazy match. And then went to Toronto. And then hot-ass Cincinnati. That was a hot summer, too, if you guys remember. Summer was hot, so... That exhaustion was real. Got decently far. Made it to the quarterfinals in the U.S. Open. And... won half of his Davis Cup matches, beat Bergs but couldn't beat Collignon. And beat Zverev and Mensik in the Laver Cup. So he's been playing well. I'd be surprised if he loses his match against Bu. Hasn't dropped a set against Mensik or Zverev. Don't think he'll be dropping a set to Bu. Even though he's in China and he has the home crowd behind him, I don't think he can nab a set. It went to a tiebreak when they played each other in D.C. this year, but I think that was just an adjustment to the weather. de Minaur doesn't love the heat, but he can play in it. It's not going to be hot in Beijing at all. It's going to be like 63 or some shit, or like maybe it's going to be a bit hot, maybe 83. It's not going to be scorching like hot serving weather. And out of the two, Bu has a better serve, but de Minaur's a better returner. So I would probably take a spread here. I can see the Demon getting a good gap of distance, maybe 2 breaks, maybe 3 in total, maybe 3 breaks in total if you can bet on that. Over 2.5, I would take that. But 3.5 is too much. He's minus 550 to win. It's not worth shit to bet on that, in my mind. And his spread is at 4.5. I think that's a little bit redundant. It should be at 3.5. 6-4, 6-4 is a fair enough thing. Or 7-5, 7-5. Aces. Let's see. How was he returning? Zhang had 15 aces on Bu in his last match. And de Minaur only had 1 ace against Mensik and no aces against Zverev. Yeah, he's never really had a crazy good serve, but I'll leave that alone as well. I'll push on from this one. Play de Minaur on DraftKings. He's probably going to be worth a lot, but worth playing him today. Good price. All right, next who we have is Adrian Mannarino going against Alexander Bublik, our newfound hero on this channel. And this is going to be their second head-to-head. They played each other 5 years ago in Doha, where Bublik won 6-3, 6-4 in straights. This is going to be quite the trip. Quite the trip for him. Luckily for Bublik, he hasn't had to go too far. He's still in China. Only had to play 4 matches. He's in great shape. He had a great rest He looked good, serving well. I'm excited to see Bublik get through Mannarino. He plays well against lefties, as we know. And Mannarino is kind of getting to that age. He has been qualifying and hasn't dropped a set yet. But this Bublik is a higher IQ Bublik than who he's been playing against. Jesper de Jong and Andrea Vavasori won't be able to compare to the level of an Alex Bublik that we have right now. If we can get, at the very least, some aces, please. If they can just show me where the aces are at. All right. Well, it's first round. He did just come off of a title, so be careful because this is still Alex Bublik. He has been seemingly a bit of a changed player and seeming like he wants to play tennis because he likes it and he's committed to improving and things like that. He seemed focused about playing in China. He said in his podcast that he was gearing up to play in China to Nick Kyrgios when he was in New York. So I think that he is planning on being here and playing well. If there's someone that is able to nib a set off of him, though, that is a lefty, I do think it is the weird pacey play of Mannarino on a good day, though. I don't know if, like, him on an okay day is fucking with Bublik whatsoever. But Mannarino did go through qualies so far. He couldn't beat Yibing Wu, which was interesting. So, if you couldn't beat Yibing Wu in the first round, and that's who Bublik beat in straights, 6-3, 6-3, then that deductive reasoning should try to kind of tell you there that Bublik should be winning in straight sets against Mannarino, given the level that he had to output to beat Wu. So, just looking at what that's priced at, because that may be the smoke for the day if it's plus money. Am I crazy to take Bublik winning in straight sets? The only reason why Vukic took him to a third set is because of the serve. Mannarino don't got no serve, man. We know this. Mannarino does not have no strong serve. He has the slowest pace in the whole ATP. If you think that's going to affect a player like Bublik who has like every type of shot, like it's just going to go in a way that I don't know if Bublik actually can be faulted by, like, get faltered by this. I think it's going to be a straight set win for Bublik, and you guys should play that before that goes to minus money. I'm telling y'all that now, but we'll move on. Got about 4 matches left. And we have another lefty from France. This is going to be a messy one. I can already tell you now. We have Quarantine Moutet going against Talon Griekspoor. And Griekspoor, man, what is going on with our brother Griekspoor? What is going on with this brother? Anyway, funny enough, in their head-to-head history, he's undefeated against Moutet. So maybe this is the time where he changes and turns things around. I don't know. He's able to get a set off of lefties. But is he going to be able to beat this one? Moutet is the favorite. You know I want to go for Moutet here. He's been playing better, in my opinion. But the way these two play, Griekspoor's not really like fucking around with them. But this is going to be a slower court. And this is the first time they're playing each other on a slower court. Recently, at least. They played in Mallorca earlier this year, when that went to 7-5, 7-6. Going Griekspoor's way in the final, remember? I was hoping Moutet would win it, but damn it. After that Mallorca win, that was kind of the last of Talon Griekspoor's great performances, though. He kind of just like stopped playing well after that. So maybe he gets reactivated into good form after playing Moutet, That'd be some creepy shit to see, but hey, if or do we get Moutet getting his revenge? He's lost 3 times in a row now. Griekspoor is his daddy. The guy's in bad form. How does that feel? Jeez. I would take a spread here, but I would ultimately leave it alone. I can't think of what I would play off the top of my head. So if I don't have anything that's just coming to me, I would stay away. And next we have, if you guys want the stats though, sorry. Where my man is. Moutet is 14-10 with a 53% win rate on the hard court, going 33-23 this season. And then we have Griekspoor, who's been on a 6-match losing streak, but he's still 28-20, and that's crazy. Okay, he's got a 63% win rate. He's 8-9 so far this season on the hard court, but he plays better on a hard court. He is better. So, I don't know. I might be playing Moutet because my heart wants to play him on DraftKings, but I can't put no slips down for either of these fellers. We'll move on. Next we have... Who is this? Oh. Daniel Medvedev. Going against Norrie. And whoa. If you are new to betting on tennis, this is a match that you should not touch. If you do not know these two players and how they've been playing and what they've been doing and just how things have been looking for them, I would stay so far away from this match, man. The only thing that that was the preface. I'm prefacing with that. Let's just get into it. Daniel Medvedev and Norrie, this is going to be their 6th head-to-head. It is 4-1 in their head-to-head history, with Daniel Medvedev winning in the first 4 matches, but Norrie beating him in the French Open this year. Every other time before that was one single clay match earlier this year in Rome from Medvedev, but everything else has been on the hard court. So, when it comes to playing on a hard court, Medvedev has always won. But that hasn't happened in over a year and some change. So, word on the street is that Medvedev does have a new coach. He didn't beat Wu, but he did play a decently good match. Wu really wanted to beat him in China, and he ended up making it to the semifinals. So, still though, Medvedev should have, for who he is, he should be higher in the draw towards the end of these tournaments. And going against someone like Norrie, who lost first round in Chengdu, I don't know if it's worth touching. Maybe take him for a second. He's going to be over, they're probably going to have him super inflated price-wise. He's going to be with minus 400, minus 300 for Medvedev to win. Why? Just bet on, matter of fact, just bet on Norrie. Literally, if you hate me for telling you to do it, then hate me because I told you to do it, but 9 times out of 10, you betting on the person that he's going against will cash you out. So, take him for a set, Norrie. It's even money. I don't know. I don't like betting on Norrie either. But I like betting on Medvedev when he's playing well, and that's not the case right now. He's a former number 1 player 3 years ago, and now this year he's 13-10. Do you know Medvedev hasn't had a year? He hasn't had a double-digit loss season on a hard court since 2017. Yibing Wu gave that to him. His first double-digit loss in 8 years. That's kind of fucking crazy. Is it the end of an era? This is probably going to be the most losses that we see Medvedev have on a hard court season. Are we just going to chalk it up to it was a terrible season for him and he's going to just reset this next season? I don't know. It just makes you really wonder, man. He had a kid earlier this year, right before the Australian Open. I'm wondering if is it time being taken up because you're becoming a fan? I don't know. It makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. But if you don't trust Medvedev and you don't love Cam Norrie, take him for a set. Or just leave it the fuck alone, like I'm going to do. And I'm going to be doing the exact same with the last two matches. But we'll get into it. Our next match is going to be Giovanni and Mpetshi Perricard going against Lorenzo Musetti, the guy who screwed us most recently. And this is going to be their fourth head-to-head, with Musetti winning every time. Looks like Gio has been able to take a set in their last two head-to-heads over the past year. But I chalk it up to at least the U.S. Open win from Musetti was more or less a rocky start to a fast server. He was coming into his first match in some time on the hard court, and then went against a server like Gio, went to a tiebreak in the first set, and he lost it. But then he came back in 6-3, 6-4, 6-4. So, same thing here. He dropped the first set in Wimbledon against him last year, and then did the same thing, 6-3, 6-3, 6-2. So, Musetti's probably going to win this match. I don't care to bet on it. He disappointed me to the point where I will never bet on that guy ever again. Like, I don't care what's going on with him. I don't care if he's number one. I'm not betting on him. I just do not trust that guy. I don't care when he does get in form to win a final. I don't care. Like, and that's no disrespect to him. I just, like, for what he is, what he did, it's bad for business. And that's all I can say. I'm not upset about it. I moved past it. It's just bad for business. And I will not be partaking any longer. But anyway, he's 14-9 this season, going with a 56% win rate, going 33-15 on the entire season. Would have been nice to have it be 34-14, but, beggars can't be choosers. And then we have Gio, who is 10-11 with a 57% win rate on the hard court, so higher than Musetti, but he's 18-10 this season. 18-20, I'm sorry. So, not great at all. Debatably had the best season of his year last year. It was the best season of his career last season. Went 50-25, so played incredibly well. Anyway, I'll be staying away from this one. It should probably be a long one. I mean, if you want to take, I don't know if he's going to have a slow start at this point. He's pretty in shape from getting his cheeks clapped in Chengdu. So both of these guys lost in Chengdu, so they're ready to play. I mean, they're not having to travel or do anything like that, so they should be good to go. I won't even play those two on DraftKings, to be honest with you, though. And then last but also not least, it's been a while since we talked about either of these fellers. We have Lorenzo Sonego and Alexander Zverev. And boy, oh boy, this is a crazy head-to-head history. It is 5-0 Zverev's way. Sonego has yet to beat this man. If he loses to him again, he's going to get double-daddied. 3-0'd twice. So, he's beaten him on every surface. If he beats him on the clay, it'll be on every surface twice. So, out of the times they have played, most recently was in Halle. Sonego was able to nab a set, something he's able to do often. I feel like this game can go to a tiebreak between the two of these guys. The last 3 matches they've had went to tiebreaks against each other, I should say. Zverev went to a tiebreak going against Taylor Fritz in his last match. Sonego has a decent enough serve where I can see it holding well enough to get to a tiebreak in one set, but Sonego is someone that I also have on my list of people I do not touch. And Zverev is also on a list of people that I do not touch for reasons that I guess you will have to bet on them to find out on your own. Going into their seasonal stats so far, as I said, Zverev has been sweeping the floor with him on every surface. But he is 21-7 as the world number 3. And 45-19. I'm sorry. He's 21-7 on the hard court with a 67% win rate, going 45-19 this season. And Sonego is 11-12 with a 48% win rate on the hard court, with a 19-23 win rate on all surfaces. So pretty open and shut. The number 3 guy in the world going against the number 44. He's beaten him 5 times in a row. But what have we been seeing recently? A 3-match losing streak from Zverev. He lost to Taylor Fritz in straights, Minaur in straights, Felix Auger-Aliassime in 4. It's showing that he might be working on a different part of his game that might not be working too well. Or maybe he's just playing bad. But regardless, I'm staying away. Swear to y'all. So there's only a few things I think I do like. I think the Shimabukuro spread against Korda is a bit fun. I think that's a pretty wise decision to take him to cover, being as though he's been playing a bit well. We've been seeing people do this in tournaments this past week. Maybe that's what's going on in Asia. I'll test the waters out and see. We'll play. Maybe I'll play that just to see what's going on, because we saw how far Valentin Royer got, right? Going through a draw just as impressive. So maybe this is the beginning of Shimabukuro's crazy story in Beijing. Or I'm sorry, in Tokyo, in his home country. So we'll see. Then we have Mensik, and then Rublev going over 12.5 games. I like as well, going against Norrie. Bublik's money line. Maybe the smoke today might be Bublik winning in straights. And I also like Tien to cover the spread at 3.5. So you guys let me know what you're going to be playing. It's first round, so first and second round are kind of the same to me because people are playing their first matches there. So just be careful. I play light until we get to like third, fourth round. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Be smooth. There's going to be a video dropping late in the evening, so keep your eye out for it. All right, peace.